Hello and welcome back to another video about Coupe de La Ligue. This is round 2, and on today's program we have North Macedonia as the country map, and the region map is the Tonga Empire, which is a lot of New Zealand, some Hawaii, a little bit of American Samoa, and a few locations on Pitcairn Island. Um, as last week, I have already played, and at the time of playing, my opponent had not. So, you will once again be only seeing my scores, and my opponent's scores will be in a comment below. So yeah, first up we have Macedonia, and let's just see how that went. Here we have round 1. Immediately, I am heading towards this sign, thinking I recognize Novo Salo, and I do, but I don't think it's that one at first. It doesn't feel right. So I go on and I continue going north, looking for more signs, and as I see this sign, I'm thinking, okay, that's not very helpful. And I realize that this road reminds me of a road I've passed a couple times doing some practice games. And when I see this sign, I see that it says Orit right there, or not sure how you pronounce it actually, and it does end up being that road. I'm comparing the Cyrillic here just to be sure. And what am I doing here? I don't know. I don't remember what I'm doing. I think I'm looking for Novo Salo in this area. And this sign, it says the road name. So it is the A2. It's this road going there. I'm going to try and line this up. Doesn't really work down here. We started at an intersection, and I suddenly see this town name, which was on the sign at the start. And I'm thinking, yeah, that kind of works. Putting a check mark. Seeing the intersections here. And I'm a little bit confused because where's that road? Over there. And then I see that big building. Okay, but that intersection towards the west works. Oh, there's the building on the map. Okay, and now I'm happy that I am in the right spot and just trying to find the 0 meters. I don't have the 0, but I have 4, which is good enough for me. Round 2, very urban. I'm trying to remember some stores at the corners of the roundabout. And I see the yellow-black striped border on the roundabout, and I take note of that because that's not in every city. So first up is trying to find out which city this is. And I see some yellow signs here, and they seem to be saying that we are in Tetovo. So that's where I'm gonna start looking. I hit another roundabout, going north. And I see a cafe called Melody, and I see some more stores. And I think I am going to be trying to find Melody here. Trying to line this road up, finding some roundabouts, and there's a few here. I don't see a POI here for the store that I was looking for, and it's not there either. That's not even a roundabout, that's an oval about. But checking the rest of the city, that just doesn't work. So it has to be here somewhere. And for now, I put my pin on the middle roundabout. And I'm trying to find some names that I might see on the map, like stores. but I'm not really seeing anything. So I decide to just head west and see which roundabout I come across over there, and it is that weird non-round roundabout. So I was there at the start, I think, doing a quick double check. I moved my pin. Why did I do that? Agrokalista is a store, and if I remember, that one is on the map, but I'm seeing here that I'm not at the right roundabout. Doesn't work because there's a open space on the map. So with enough time left, I decided to go east, and then I see, yeah, okay, that's where the open space is, and then I see the POI for the store. So I try to line it up, try to work out exactly where I want my pin, and I'm 3 meters away, which is very nice, another 5K. And then we're a little bit less urban. Starting at a gas station, okay. Sign for something that I don't recognize. Going south, and I'm thinking surely there's a sign here, and I see something yellow, and I'm like, it's the same road as before. So that's nice. I know where that one is. Now I just need to narrow it down, and that's a very good sign to do so. And I see the town quite fast. Intersection with a gas station and an off-road that works. I think the angles, I'm gonna check. See the curve to the north, and I see a very useful sign. I didn't need that sign. Let's just line it up to be sure. Yeah, I think we're here. Where exactly am I? Watching east, that building. Maybe a little bit further north than I had it. South is that way. West just hits the edge of the building. And I'm 2 meters away. I always aim for the 0 meters, so I'm happy with that. Round number 4. There's an interesting Y split here. And I'm trying to read the sign. I can't really figure out if it's useful. So for now, I'll just head north. Here's the curve. Then we hit a big building. Seems like shopping mall or something. Can't really tell, but it says market. Trying to find something. Where are we? Petrogorsk. I don't know how to pronounce it. But I think it says municipality, so I have a quick look if it's a town that I might see very quickly, because it does ring a little bit of a bell. Try to find this sign. There's something on here. It says Skopje a few times, but that might just be head office. But I do look around there, and suddenly I see it is a suburb name. I try to find something that works with this market and a roundabout. Trying to line up this road. Which roundabout? I think we're there right now because there is a monument in the middle of the roundabout, which works with what I saw. Try to find this Y split. The angle works. There's a few Y splits here, so I have to pick one and line it up. I head this way to see how far I am from the curve. So that's definitely that. And I try to line it up as well as I can. Oh, I'm not even there yet. I was still confirming. Right now I will be lining up. That's in the middle of that building, and then That building is this one. I could just click and send, but I can't risk it. And I'm 4 meters away again, so this is going very well. I have 20k right now at the end of round 4, heading into round 5, and we start here at another roundabout. And I want to go north, is my first thought, but I can't. So I go south. I try to find a city name, of course, that's very important. Because as I'm looking around, I'm realizing I am not exactly sure which region I am, of which region of the country I'm in right away. And I start to worry a little bit because I've practiced quite a bit, not very much, but I did practice for this just to be able to like recognize the cities. And I don't immediately know where I am. And that's a little bit worrying at this point because a minute has already passed almost. And I'm still not sure. I keep moving and I see something that might be a clue, but it's not. And it's not looking very promising. I see the mountains to the south, and I'm thinking it doesn't work with any of the cities I have in mind. I don't remember exactly which ones I was thinking of, but I just remember a slight panic setting in. Because, of course, I'm aiming for the 25k here, so I decide to go west into the town. It's not really looking very promising. Like, I might find some signs. There's nothing on this. I mean, there might be, but it's too small to read. And now I want to go north and I can't. So I have less than 1 minute left. What do? I go this way again and I see in the corner of my eye these signs, Skopje, Velej, Stip. So I know I'm close to there and I don't recognize the fourth name. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it is Kumanovo that is close, kind of close to all of these. Even though I know in the back of my mind, I know what that city looks like. I don't think this is it. But I try to find a roundabout that sort of works. This is way too central to work, but this is as good as it's gonna get. And I'm just gonna hope that I'm lucky and just am misremembering things, but I'm extremely unsure about this round. There's a bar here, it's not on the map, and I don't have time anymore, and I'm 63 kilometers away, and I am a little bit upset at myself for not recognizing where I am this round. Because after 4 or 5Ks, scoring 318 points is not a lot of points, and it's a little bit upsetting. Yeah, as you can see, my opponent hasn't played yet. And I keep zooming into that, just being a little bit frustrated. I took a little bit of a break in between, you can't tell, but I'm now refreshed, heading into map number 2, Tonga Empire. And we're starting in New Zealand at another roundabout. So, sorry, what I'm trying to do is just head towards something where I might find some sort of clue. What's this? Discovery Park. So New Zealand is not my strongest country, but as I was practicing North Macedonia, I've also been practicing this map. And while practicing, I set a new best time on the map. So that was promising. But as I'm playing this first round, I'm thinking, oh god, this is not looking like I might find something. I'm not seeing any signs, no road numbers, and I'm nearly halfway done with the time that I have. And I really don't want to start off plonking just randomly somewhere. But 90 seconds left at this point, and I really want to use them wisely. So I start fast moving a little bit, and I see this sign. We're near the one. There's a sign to Auckland, and the other two town names sound familiar. I don't immediately know where they are, but I do know that Taupo is near the lake, and I find Rotorua too. So I'm thinking, are we down here? Because it says that those two cities are towards the north. And I start looking way too far south, and I'm realizing that. And at the same time, I'm thinking it might just be Hamilton because it does feel like a pretty big city. And I remember passing the park, so I try to zoom into all the different green bits, just hoping that the name pops out. And I have less than 30 seconds right now, and I'm still not exactly sure which city I am. And I decide to just commit to Hamilton because it does work. I zoom in, and I'm not seeing it. And then I see Discovery Drive, and I see River Road. And I plonk, and I want to double check the names, and it is River Road, and I'm glad I don't have to spend a few more seconds trying to find the right road because I already had it. 20 meters is not ideal. Of course, I always aim for the zero, as I said, but it's a 5K and that's what counts. Second round, we start immediately next to a sign, but it's the one again, and the one is a long road. So I'm not exactly sure immediately where we are. It's quite hilly. There are some names on signs. I try to find something on the bus, maybe. I don't find anything. I get sent north when I want to head south. And there's a lot of signs here, but they don't seem like town names to me, more like suburbs or districts or something. And then I see a sign I need. It's the one towards Palmerston North, which I know where it is, and Porirua. I don't know where that is, but I'm thinking, okay, it could be Wellington. It's hilly enough. And then I see Johnsonville, and I don't know where I read that, but it is somewhere in the back of my mind. So I put my pin there, and I see the road name that I saw on the roundabout. And there's a church, and there's an off-road, Ironside Road, which is on the map. I have my pin there, and then I'm realizing, oh, it's just here. There's a church. And I take my time to really make sure I have the right part of that little section of road. And I'm 6 meters away, which is better than last round, so I'm happy with that. Round number 3 is hilly. Lots of parts of New Zealand are hilly. And first up, we go and find a town name, signs, anything. Waikawa Bay, Waikawa Marina. Those are good to keep in mind. And I hit Gen 1 or I don't know what that was. It wasn't good. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna have a quick look to see if that's a big town. But there's so much coast to scan. I don't really want to take that much time. So I decide to just keep going for a little bit. As we keep going, I do notice that the waters to the north a little bit from that road at least, and that this road is very long at the same angle, which is very interesting. I make a note of that. And I'm realizing I haven't seen a side street name, so I don't know exactly where I am yet along the road, which is bold, but I'm going with it. I first need to figure out where I am. And as I head this direction, I'm noticing we're heading into a town, which is good because that's usually where the signs are. That just says marina, so that doesn't really help. That says Picton Marina. And I registered that as something that sounds vaguely familiar. And then I realized, wait, I might have to look for that. And I do. And I see Waikawa just northeast of it. Waikawa Road, which is where we were on. I'm not exactly at an off-road. So I try to find a street name just close by, which is Ranui, which is here. And then I realize, okay, so we started at this kind of off-road. Is it the north one, the south one? There's the building, so it must be this one. Let's go 3 meters, another 5K. 15K heading into round 4 is not bad at all. That's about as good as it's gonna get at this point. So round 4. More New Zealand. Brackenfield Place. Confirmed New Zealand on the sign. And I'm thinking, oh, this looks like suburbia. Let's just hope I'm going in the right direction. Queen's Park Drive. And I head north because I'm thinking, okay, this looks like I'm heading out of some sort of neighborhood. Maybe there's some signage close by. And it says Waitakere Bottle Lake Forest Park. I keep that in mind. And I'm thinking, ooh, this might actually be a dead end. Do I go back? But I continue heading this west way. And as I'm going, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's not that bad. Surely I'm gonna hit a bigger road soon. It's a roundabout. Which way do I go? Do I continue? I think I do. And here's our bigger road. And I came from a Rothsay. I don't know how to pronounce that. And I go north. Still fully expecting Bottle Lake again. Still fully expecting to hit some signs pretty soon. Because we're already halfway. Maybe this car has something on it. I thought it might be official, but it's just a business with nothing written on the car. And it says Waitikere again. And it sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. Nothing on this sign. Nothing on that. And I am so unhappy right now. 40 seconds left. What do I do? There's a forest park. Is it Wellington? Why does Waitakere sound so familiar? I have to put a pin down 30 seconds. I'm just clicking in the middle. There's no reason why I clicked there. And I'm thinking, okay, it's looking kind of flat. So maybe do I want to go south? Should I just stay close to the capital? And I decide at the last second to switch near Christchurch. And that's good because it is near Christchurch. It was all the way out north. Bottle Lake Forest was actually findable. I didn't see it. And Waitakere was a golf club, which I don't know why it sounded familiar. That was not it. I don't think I took the optimal route. I went back to check later, and I'm not sure which way I should have gone. There's not a lot of signs in the vicinity, so it's just a very hard round, and I'm just lucky I plonked that close. Round 5 is finally somewhere other than New Zealand. It's Hawaii. And I'm thinking, okay, I practiced Hawaii. I can recognize the islands. We're in Oahu. Which is good because Hawaii is big. Knowing the island also already gets you some points. So here we go, trying to find a road name, trying to find some helpful things. This is Kupuna Lane, I think it is. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna have a quick look around this town because it reminds me of that a little bit from practicing, but I'm not convinced at all that that's where it has to be. Checkpoint and go back and head west. And that's a good decision because this is a much bigger road. Kapuna, yes. But what is this road? And we have a sign, the H1, that's the big road. And there's a green sign towards Honolulu and one towards Ewa. So I'm thinking, okay, we're somewhere in the middle at this point. Trying to find the road, which the name I already forgot. Kaluna? Sorry. And Waya, the other word on the sign. I try to find that, and I'm just not seeing the road. And I'm a little bit confused because there's so many roads here, and they're all coming off of the H1. It's a pretty big intersection here. So what am I missing? So I try to line something up. This doesn't work. That's the wrong name. Maybe it's further down here. I also don't see it. Maybe it's closer. Maybe it's more this direction. And I've got 12 seconds left at this point, and I'm stressing because I feel like I should be able to find this. And I'm 6.5 kilometers off. It was a little bit further west, and that's Kunia Road. And that was very findable. I just didn't see that name anywhere. Little frustrated screen shake, and there you have Kopuna Loop, which is the name I was looking for the north-south road. So that's not ideal, but I still have 24.8k total. That went by very fast, but that's my score. And then the third map is No Move AIW. And I zoom into this house and I'm thinking, okay, that kind of looks like an Irish house. But something about it just doesn't feel right. So I keep looking and I keep looking and it's hilly, but I at least have to put a pin down. So I do that. Then I look around some more and I look at these hedges and the trees and I'm thinking, maybe it's UK. So I switched to Scotland. Or I'm thinking about switching to Scotland because of the hilliness. I'm thinking about just hedging Isle of Man at this point, actually. And then I'm thinking, could be Scottish, might be a little bit further south. I think I'm hedging a little bit still. But I go for it, and it's Wales. Which, okay, not too bad. Could have been better, but not too bad. And then round 2, we have this. And I'm frustrated because I don't know which continent we're on at this point. I'm thinking this is Finland or Canada. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm seeing these poles and I'm thinking, yep, driving on the right, that checks out for both. Sun doesn't help. This pole, I mean, I'm looking at it, I don't know what it means. And I'm thinking, okay, my first thought was Canada. And with these rocks next to the road, maybe that's Ontario. So I'm thinking, okay, let's try and find something that lines up a little bit. And I'm not sure where to go. I'm pretty sure I want to go Ontario at this point. It's just a matter of figuring out which road to click. And I decide to go a little bit further east. Just not too far. I don't really feel comfortable, so I want to hedge a little bit within Ontario. And yeah, it's Finland. Oh, I got 152 points. I'm not happy with this. Like, of course it makes sense. It did also pop into my mind. I'm a little bit in disbelief at this point. I believe at this point that I have already lost, even though that's not certain at all. But that's what it feels like. Like, how can I win with such a guess, right? That's what I'm thinking. So I'm losing a little bit of hope. And then I get this round. And I'm thinking, oh no, what hemisphere are we even in? What am I looking at? And I decide it's South America. And I'm between Peru and Argentina at this point. I've got my pin down in Argentina because it reminds me of some mountains I saw once. That's very vague, but I don't remember the context. I just remember seeing something that looks a little bit like this. So I have my pin there, but I'm not convinced at all. I'm still thinking it could be Peru, it could even be Bolivia for all I know, but I I think I'm convinced. Well, I wasn't ever convinced this was Argentina, but I think I'm gonna stick with Argentina at this point. I have my pin down and I'm just looking for something that kind of works. Kinda. And I'm thinking, this might actually already be too far south. Why do I keep looking this far south? Because I don't know where it is. 20 seconds left and I'm thinking, okay, I can just keep looking. Hopefully, maybe. But it might have been subconsciously a bit of a hedge towards the north. Because it does end up being Peru. Like even north of Lima. And then we have this. And I'm thinking, not this again. Okay, but surely this time it's Canada. There's a yellow line in the middle. Surely it's Canada. It's Gen 2. This pole could work. It's super flat. It's not, well, it's not super flat. It's pretty damn flat. But so I try and line it up and it's just east-west, flat in the north. And I'm thinking, okay, so it's going to be somewhere down here. That's where I'm going to have to click because that's where it's flat. But it's not completely flat. So I think, okay, I'll hedge a little bit towards the mountains. I think there's some hilliness down here or something. So that's where I click. And it's the other border of Saskatchewan, so a little bit unlucky. This loads in, and I'm thinking, oh, Australia, this should be Tasmania, surely. Just um, a matter of where in Tasmania do I click. I don't know why I decided to move, but it was Victoria, so I didn't really do very well on this one. I went Scotland on Wales, Canada on Finland, Peru on Argentina, wrong province in Canada, and state in Australia. But um, yeah, that was it. I wasn't very happy with how I played, but I knew that I had a shot because my second map went pretty well. And if you are curious about whether I am going through to round 3 or not, I put the scores of my opponent in a comment below, so you can see down there how that ended. And thank you for watching, and maybe I'll see you for round 3, and maybe I won't. Goodbye.